Okay. Hi. Well, actually, hello, littles. Bro, y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna read this to you, and I'm gonna let y'all know how busy I've been with life. Skit. I made this many months ago, and it's literally just a skit that I made for TikTok for the Freak Circus. Now, while that was going on, I've been making art ideas. My OC Ashley holding a doll. Pura Whisper hugging. Verity playing with Forrest, or Lenny from The Obsessed playing with Forrest. Ashley smiling. Nicole staring. Marth held giant hand. It's a lot. And then I was making a bunch of art ideas. Finished 3-page comic. Rest with Lo-Fi ASMR. Draw Marth, Ashley, and Nicole ref. These are characters that I have for my head, because not to joke around, but I am going through some mental issues that I'm just now recently discovering. And I also started working on my visual novel quite a couple weeks ago. I made a whole bio ref that I will be posting onto this onto the screen, and then I'll put it in the description below once I finish this video up. And yeah, I also y'all can tell that I've been these are only a couple pages from my journal, but I've been working a lot. Anyways, point is that I've been busy, you guys know of this, and I also wanted to say that I apologize for that. And I was recently thinking about making a IDV video, but this is we're 2 minutes in. I've been recording for 2 hours, longer than that probably. Been working on this for a couple days. This is basically the ref for my MC for my story, Nature's Cafe. I've been working on different aspects to work on ref. I've been working on silhouettes and all that stuff. I had to go on YouTube and study other artists that I will be linking in the description. I've been studying a few who are their artistic style is so beautiful that I'm just sitting here and I'm oh my god, this is beautiful. And every time I've been thinking about it, I was alright, so what I need to do is I'm gonna take my time with this whole ref in itself, because this video, I had to speed it up. It's gonna be 25 minutes. If y'all are willing to sit through 25 minutes and put it as background noise, by all means, I don't mind. But basically, the visual novel is called Nature's Cafe, and I've been working on this idea for not a couple of years, months. It started actually in 2023 when did I first discover Tender Lovin' Cannibal? I discovered it through SWA, and I was well, actually no, that's a lie. I discovered Spooky Month not through SWA but through TikTok. Then I discovered Tender Lovin' Cannibal through SWA, and I was oh my god, SWA knows peak. And so I wanted to get in on it. I was okay, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try this visual novel. And I ate that mess up. I was sitting here I want him. I want that man. And so that's when the whole idea came to. But then I was watching Berlin play this one game called Heilwald Loophole. I've already showed y'all a couple times in my art fight setups Speedpaint video. You guys can go check it out. It'll be at the end of this video. And basically throughout the gameplay, you're basically exploring this asylum, but it turns out that it's a loop. It's an endless loop of you basically being the doctor who started all this mess, and you have to go back and figure out what the heck is going on. Why is everybody so like distorted? Why is everybody so corrupted? And the whole video in itself, or the whole game summary analysis that I've looked at and I've seen other people talk about, the whole thing in itself is basically talking about the corruption within asylums, or like the field of mental health, the mental health field, the medical field. It basically talks about that. I'm not saying that every medical like place is corrupt. It's basically just calling out some of it in, I guess, the older days, or like calling out how like some people who grasp onto power can corrupt things just because of greed or because of pride. And pride is quite a dangerous thing if the person who has it doesn't know how to curate it properly. And basically I created Nature's Cafe. I know, it's crazy, the irony to the name. I created Nature's Cafe, basically talking about the mental health of my community, the Black community. MC and the love interest, they're both Black, but rather than like, you know, adding a skin color, I made MC gray. They will just have Black hairstyles. And it was not to like create an original character, but to like have someone be there as like something to relate to. And the love interest, you guys already know him, it's Salvador. He's basically the allegory for men's mental health within the Black community, and also the disruption of Black men or Black indigenous men being soft. Like, his whole character as a whole is that he's a soft-hearted guy. He loves nature, he loves the trees. His favorite movie is The Lorax. Funny, like, I know what y'all are thinking, oh my god, that's so cute, but like, he loves other movies that correlate to the tree, like the that one dinosaur movie, y'all know what I'm talking about too, with Littlefoot and all that stuff. He cried at that movie so many times. And why am I mentioning these movies? I'm trying to like give y'all an image of how Salvador is. He's very soft-hearted, he loves nature, he loves humanity, but he also tends to avoid humanity, not because he dislikes it, but because he's shy. He genuinely is shy, and he actually had to go to this asylum, which is like one of the main points in the story. He had to go to this asylum because he was found in like the wilderness, and it was like during winter. He was like super cold, and he had pneumonia. And the head doctor of this place, she took him in, and they became, I won't say they became friends, but they like came to understand each other. It was basically just a complete accident. He was working, and you know, the storm hit, and he didn't think he would get that bad, so we ended up, you know, passing out from the cold and almost had hyperthermia. And so she was taking care of him, and that's when like things started like taking a shift, because a new head doctor was taking over. And it turns out that this head doctor only took over due to the fact that he was indeed a nepo baby. And he noticed that this whole hospital in itself, he basically has this mindset where if none of the patients get hurt or die, then nobody can say anything about what he does. His work ethics were very, how do I say, not ethical, in the sense, not responsible. He's very irresponsible with the patients, and as long as they don't die, then they can't really say anything about it. He can't really hold the blame. And the only reason why he took over was because he did something to the old head doctor. It turns out, I cannot spoil, but he does something to the head doctor, and Salvador tries to speak up, simply not because of her. They only understood each other. He didn't really care for her too much, but like they had an understanding with nature. And so he's like witnessing the destruction of nature, deforestation, animals getting harmed. And when you think of this new doctor, I want you to think of Chief Irons. And I also want you to think of the doctor, not the doctor in Resident Evil, but the doctor from, what's that one doctor's name? Hold on, I will have to look this doctor up real quick because I know what I'm thinking of. I realized it wasn't just one individual doctor. It's many doctors in Outlast, because you know, and I know y'all are like, you're basing him off of Outlast doctors. Yes, I know it's very scary to do that, but like in this case, he doesn't do anything that's like that correlates to real topics that involve people. I mean, this whole thing involves actual people, but the thing is that it's a fantasy. It's a fantasy psychological cozy horror, cozy thriller. And as I was making this, I wanted to add the psychological part with the asylum and then show the fantasy aspects once, you know, the MC meets Salvador, because Salvador, he doesn't have magic. He just knows how to work with the forest, and most of the fantasy entities or beings are in the forest, and he has to go back there. He's like trying to desperately get out, but like the doctor, the new head doctor, knows that he knows the truth, knows that he will tell, and so that's where MC comes in. MC is hearing gossip, but then nothing more. Like, people have tried to interview that place and they would either leave or they wouldn't return, and the head doctor would straight up lie and say, oh, it turns out this person was going through it mentally and they were like experiencing some behavior issues, and then would use the cameras within the asylum to fabricate this whole lie on this person, which everybody would be like, oh my goodness, this doctor is so caring. He like sees he's a charismatic guy basically, and he has everybody fooled. Meanwhile, MC, who is a black person, is walking in and they're witnessing the nurses, and they notice a specific pattern. And yes, like there will be signs of like racial dynamics, and it won't be open. You won't notice it at first, but you'll tend to see it once you like really take a deep dive. The nurses and all that stuff, many of them will be people of color. It's bound to like be there. I'm only putting this as a disclaimer, so like when you notice and see the like similarities, you'll also notice something with the older head doctor. The older head doctor was a woman of color. I'm not too sure what her race will be, but specifically she was a woman of color. She was working with the patients and the nurses and her fellow doctors, who were also fired after the new doctor took over and replaced like all the doctors with new doctors. And a couple of the nurses tried to speak up, like tried to tell them that their work was unethical and irresponsible, and they were either fired or worse. Now this is where Outlast and Heilwald Loophole kind of collide here. The corruption, he's not trying to like do any experimentation that involves like godhood. He's just literally being unethical and harming these patients, because most of these patients have been here for a while, and you know, people started questioning the old head doctor, and the head doctor has expressed many times that healing takes a long time, and some of the patients, they need healing. Like, it'll take a long time. They sometimes don't think that they can leave yet because they're afraid of harming their family members, so they stay a bit longer. And the new head doctor, he not only commits like acts of like OD, or he'll occasionally like keep the patients in for a long period of time, and then he'll tell the family, yeah, this person's a life threat and we cannot release them until things are better. And he'll like show the progress. He'll like he'll do reactionary abuse towards the patient, where he'll basically get them to react violently, and then he'll like purposefully mention their family, and the patient will like react in violent mannerisms. And so the families, they're horrified. They think that the old doctor was going to set them up for failure, when in reality, with the older doctor, they were doing just fine. And some of them even wanted to go home, and they have, but it was like uncommon, and occasionally like it just didn't happen as much. Now, why am I telling you all this? I want to tell you all this right now as a description and a summary for why MC gets involved. You guys are hearing backstory as of right now, but like once MC comes in, this is where things start to shift. MC's walking in here to interview because they themselves are a journalist and a reporter. They're like walking in because their advisor, who was a detective, told them to like come in and like check things out, and they actually volunteered themselves because they didn't want to put their advisor at risk. And they're like checking things out, and I'll put in like a descriptive storyline for y'all to look at and read in the description as well, because I did write a whole like 3-chapter setup for them before it ends with, you know, Nature's Cafe, MC getting to the cafe and all that stuff. But we're gonna talk about the asylum first, because within the visual novel, it's gonna be like 3 settings. It's gonna start with the asylum. That's the first chapter. The second chapter will involve them being in their house, and it'll be like memories switching back and forth between the asylum until we finally get a conclusion of what happened to them to end up becoming I know what y'all are thinking, a barista. Oh, don't start yelling. I know what y'all are thinking. Boo, barista. Oh my God, Taylor's oldest time. Like, y'all always do this. I know. But like, what if I told y'all that being a barista was actually something MC wanted to be for a while, but they didn't because they also had a passion for journalism? I know what y'all are thinking. Y'all are like, okay, so what does this have to do with the barista work? Now, this is where the fun part comes in. As they're working as a barista, they start interviewing old victims of the asylum who left after, like, you know, dealing with the abuse and finally like caving in and like showing signs, quote unquote, of like healing. Most of them moved to this town called Floral Palace, while some they were like, well, some of the townsfolk, they were born there. Some of the townsfolk were victims of the asylum. And then that's where tourists come in and like start talking about it and getting interviewed, because at this point, MC, they like were forced to retire from working as a journalist after everything that happened in the asylum. And this is where Salvador slowly starts to like worm his way into their life. And I can't spoil, but just know that obviously you and him are gonna like, you know, be together. I know, I'm so corny. But like, I wanted to add some gameplay style, because I noticed in most visual novels there's not like a lot of gameplay, and people, they do like reading, but they also want to have like some interesting factors to it. So I wanted to add some gameplay features with you know, Good Pizza, Great Pizza. There's another one called Good Coffee, Great Coffee. I wanted to do that, but I wanted to have you guys choose specific things to create specific coffees to like get specific interactions from the customers / tourists and the, you know, the locals as well. And I already have like a whole setup for the coffee. I was gonna put it in the ref with MC. It's a slow process. This type of stuff takes a while, and it'll probably take a couple years. And I also wanted to have people work with me on this and make up a gameplay. I have to look up everything, like all this stuff. I'll have to do it by myself and maybe get somebody to help me out with the coding and such. But point is that you guys are the MC who is black, who's also a journalist / a barista in the town Floral Palace. And as y'all are doing that, you go back to your journalistic ways because you love that job. That was your passion. And so was being a barista. You want to like make stuff for people. And so you do both. You make coffee, then you interview people and write it down. That is a choice, however. It's not going to affect the story, but like you can like bring up a notebook on the side and like type down some stuff that you learned. So that way you don't forget. That's basically how I am. Don't blame me. And just all these cool features. The theme, however, the color palette, everything about it will be kind of like Legend of Zelda related kind of ish, with a touch of like a greenish, brownish color palette, along with a bit of Halloween theme, because okay, I implemented this because this is how I am. I love Halloween and I love Legend of Zelda, and I also like Animal Crossing City Folk. It's basically kind of like that, but with mystery, thriller, psychological thriller, and all that stuff. And it's a fantasy as well. You will be seeing some like spirits and all that stuff. They're not fantasy. Those are not the fantasy aspects. They're part of the cozy thriller aspect. But you will also see like creatures such as like occasionally like fairies and such, or like griffins occasionally. I don't know how to draw those quite yet, but I wanted to add those types of features to show that like that's how deep the connection with Salvador has with nature. And it also occurs with MC as well, because MC themselves, they're curious. They're obviously going to be curious. That's how most MCs are. But their curiosity is cautious, and they like to journal everything they see, not like take a picture and then show it to the world, but keep it to themselves. And that's what makes Salvador adore them. Adore y'all, basically. And whew, I've ranted for like 25 minutes. But yes, I wanted to have this. I've had this in my mind for like a while, like possibly 3 years. I don't remember. And I had to write it down. I'm going through college thinking about this and like, you know, doing research. And also the deeper meaning with this story is basically calling out how Black mental health with men aren't taken as seriously, and sometimes the medical field is kind of corrupt. And while there are a few bad apples, it does lead to like scrutiny, because some people within the Black community, they're scared that they're gonna like die at the hands of somebody who doesn't like them, or they're scared somebody's gonna like abuse them within the field of mental health. Like, mental health is a serious thing and a serious topic that I've always wanted to talk about, but it's hard to discuss because there are different unique stories that are layered and intersecting, like intersectionality and all. But also I feel as if I need to talk about it's in my community along with myself, since I also have mental health issues. So like some of the aspects in the story correlate to my trauma and also correlate to other traumas that like have been out there. And when I talk about it, you guys will say, oh, this is like a story that everybody knows. That's a good thing, because that means my story isn't like the only one out there, and that means other people with these types of traumas can be heard. Now, I'm gonna end it here. I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me rant, because these sketches of the MC, I have a problem with trying to learn how to draw clothes, so the struggle is real. I'm learning how to do that. I've learned anatomy somewhat. I give myself a B+ in that factor. But with clothes, it's a C-. It gets on my nerves. Clothes are hard to draw. So I've worked on this. I wanted to work on the coloring and the lineless art, because I also wanted to do lasso art with the MC and also like show Salvador interacting with you guys more. And then I wanted to do, you know that trend that's going on TikTok, the callback ping trend? I wanted to do that, but I wanted to show an aspect of the MC that kind of like, that y'all, it's no spoilers, but like this is going to be in the story specifically, and it's going to be the main reason why MC was forced to retire from being a journalist. We'll just leave it at that. Anyways, thank y'all so much for listening, and I'm going to end the video here because I am tired. I need to rest and watch some YouTube and drink some hot water. Make sure to hydrate and drink some hot water too, y'all. Goodbye. Nature's Cafe. That's the MC. I hope you guys like it. Bye.